We're going to do the 1-year increment, and so we have let the multilateral crew operations panel go off and do their thing to select their crew. We need to get that done relatively quickly, and as you can imagine, there has been some discussions before this decision was made. I believe they're shooting for the middle of October to late October to give us a name. So we'll hear it here in the next couple of weeks probably.
Have you picked somebody and you just don't want to say yet? I don't. You got a short list?
I can tell you the options. The list of names was very short. Yes, that's the best way to say it. So we're pretty close.
Mark Ratterman with Talking Space. A question for Sam. In the idea of public support for ISS operations, and considering how the shuttle program things became so routine and so not necessarily exciting during parts of the program, do you see the space station cargo support that we're now starting to provide, do you see that becoming seen as routine, and how will public opinion affect the future?
Well, I can tell you firsthand that anything we do in space is not routine or easy. Every one of those shuttle missions was hard. Many things went wrong, some big things, some small things. Just recently on board the station, we had some surprises, or some anomalies on our partner vehicles that caught us by surprise, and we had to work through them. Over the many years that SpaceX will be with us, I hope, there'll probably be anomalies that show up that we didn't expect, and we'll have to work through those. So I don't believe any of this will ever become routine.
Bill.
Bill Horowitz, CBS, with another one from Mike Steffordini, and I apologize again for this question because it's not a SpaceX question. It's looking for an update on Orbital and when you guys are going to be flying those guys for demo and then for.
If you look at the manifest, we still have them in December, but they have rolled out their first stage out to the pad, as you probably know. They have what they refer to as the 5,000 and 7,000 tests, which basically is you're going to load it up first and then offload it and see how everything goes, and then they'll load it up and do a hot fire. That will probably occur before the end of this month. And then they have a test flight that's, I don't know, it's probably, I'm guessing now, but probably into December, which doesn't go to ISS. So I'm not expecting the demo flight until... and we haven't decided with Orbital when we'd fly, but I'd be surprised if before late February, early March.
Okay, we're going to take one more here before we go back to the phone bridge. Go ahead.
My name is John Walker Jr., and I'm with GOG News and Countdown Today. My question is for Mr. Cabana or anybody who's on the panel. As SpaceX continues to have its success and its improvement, and everything just seemed to go the way it's supposed to, when do you think you may become human-rated to fly American astronauts into orbit to the space station? And the last question would be, what kind of ice cream would you be flying up?
Well, as far as human rating the vehicle goes, the commercial crew program is working in defining what those requirements are, and there's a document that lists what human rating is. And we're working very closely with all three of the SpaceX participants in helping them reach a set of requirements that will allow us to rate the vehicle. Our goal is to have a U.S. capability to fly our crews to the space station no later than 2017. Some of them feel they can get there sooner than that. So we'll have to see how it all works out. But we're working very closely with them. We're defining what the requirements are. And when they prove they meet those requirements, then we'll be able to certify and move forward.
Okay, let's go to the phone bridge. I believe we have Hans Letz from the City News Service in Los Angeles on the line.
Yeah, kind of a parochial question, thanks. How much of the Dragon and the rocket itself was built here in Southern California?
The vast majority of the vehicle, whether by price or by mass. SpaceX is not an integrator of other people's hardware. Generally, we build the vast majority of that vehicle at SpaceX and at our headquarters in Hawthorne, California. So we build our tanks. We're now building our domes. We build our engines. We build many of the avionics are ours. We build the Dragon capsule, the Draco engines, the Merlin engines. So almost everything. Probably be easier to tell you what I don't build there.
Anything else, Hans?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Charles Parker, Brevard Times. Could you be a little more specific about the debris question? And obviously, you got two scenarios. Dragon is on its way tomorrow night, and you may have to move while it's en route, or launch on Monday after you've moved, potentially. Which is the better of the two scenarios? And would launch time change Monday night if you had to move Monday during the day?
No, I would suspect that we'll just adjust our orbit, and it may take SpaceX a little longer to get there. We also can adjust orbits one way and adjust back. I mean, there's a number of things we do. We're not going to. I couldn't imagine a scenario where we ask them not to launch. So this is not going to be a major move of the station. It'll move a bit, so they'll have to phase a little bit to catch us if we don't come back. I don't like to do retrograde burns, though, so we'll probably ask them to catch us, but that's what we'll work together.
Monday night launch would stay the same time as it was Monday night.
No, we're going to launch Sunday. That's my intention. I don't know what their plan is, but my plan is for them to launch on Sunday, be the good Lord willing, and then they'll just adjust while they're flying if we have to do the maneuver. But we can do very, very small maneuvers of ISS, and generally that's enough to clear a conjunction. So I don't see this being a big problem.
Mark Ratterman with Talking Space. Question for Bob Cabana. How are things working out budget-wise for the changes that are in work here at Kennedy with the changes to the infrastructure? How is the support going for that versus what you expected when this started?
Well, the budget's working out very well for what we got. We're moving forward, and we have to see. Of course, we're in a continuing resolution right now, so we're spending what we were spending before the end of the fiscal year. I hope that as we move forward, we'll get a budget that is close to what was promised, and we'll continue on. But as far as the work that's getting done, we're getting it all done with what we've been given so far, and I'm confident we'll continue with that. That's not to say there aren't budget challenges. These are very tough fiscal times, and we have to ensure that the money that we are given we use very wisely, that we deliver on what we said we're going to do on time, within budget, with a quality product. And so far we've been able to do that. But just running the center from a point of view of things that have to happen, to maintain facilities and pay salaries and stuff, we're essentially flat, which means our budget's decreasing because, there's still inflation, salaries still go up, there's escalation in contracts. So it means that we can't do everything that we've done in the past, and we're tightening our belts to make sure that we can still do what needs to get done.
Stuart Money, Interspace.net, and my question is for Mike. Will NASA be returning on this mission or any future ones components or experiments from the Russian segment of the station?
In fact, on this flight, we're bringing home what they refer to as an S&T. It's a power converter so that the U.S. can provide power to the Russian segment. It recently failed on orbit, and so we're going to bring that home. And so we have an arrangement with all of the partners that if they would like to return something that there's a value that we have for it, and we barter it appropriately. But yes, I expect to be bringing all of the partners' stuff home as their need arises, and we can afford to carry it.
My name is right here, Ivan Moreno. It's for you, SpaceX. If everything goes all right and you have success in all your contracts with NASA, do you think you have a plans on the future that you can do your own launches, your own research, completely, being independent out of NASA, like do it on your own, like maybe next 20, 30 years?
You know, we on our own do some technology development. I don't see us doing any fundamental scientific research. That's something that's best done, I think, in partnership.
Space, like probably get to the moon or go to Mars or do your own space work out of NASA?
Those are very ambitious projects, and we really want to be a part of them. Certainly going to Mars, we've been very public about that. I think it would be very difficult for any organization to do a mission like that on their own. So we hope to be part of the partnership that does eventually go do that.
Jonathan Pearson, social media, Los Angeles, California. I'm aware that SpaceX that the Dragon was initially designed to carry personnel, and what do you see as far as bringing personnel to the space station? It's also been rumored that celebrity opera singer Sarah Brightman has paid for a spot on one of Russia's flights. Now, is that something that NASA or SpaceX will be looking into as far as space tourism?
So we did design Dragon from the beginning to facilitate human access to space in addition to cargo. That doesn't mean it's capable at this moment. It's mean that we've designed the hooks that, as we understood them, and we're working on the remaining pieces. The largest development that we have left on Dragon to make it crew rateable as far as bringing folks up during the ascent period is having a launch escape system, a safety system for the astronauts in case you have a really bad day with the launch vehicle. That's the largest development. There's still some crew interface work we have to do, spacesuit work, etc. So we are working on enhancing Dragon to be able to carry crew. Right. There's the market for crew outside of NASA is very ill-defined. I think there's lots of folks that want to go. Bob Bigelow has some very interesting ideas on uses of crew in space. As far as tourism, it's not a focus for us. I'm thrilled to hear anybody actually paying a ticket to go to space. I think it's good for the industry. It's not a focus for SpaceX right now.
Hi, John Lockwood Jr. for GOG News and Countdown Today. My question is again about Dragon. In regard to people flying in space, when it becomes rated, how many astronauts will be able to fly aboard the spacecraft? And my earlier question in regard to your future astronauts, we still want to know what type of ice cream flavors you're going to fly up.
You want to take the ice cream one first?
I don't even know if we're flying ice cream. This is one of those things that usually I remember to make sure I check on before I walk in here, and I mistakenly did not do that. So, since I don't know if we're flying ice cream, I couldn't tell you what the flavors are.
But having been on a flight that had an empty freezer on it going up into space, we did fill it, and it's really nice. So if you can do it, you ought to do it.
I know. We have done it. A little further. I'll tell the guys you were rooting for him.
Got to take care of Sonny.
Do we have any other questions? One in the back there.
Ronnie Williams, social media. This is for Ms. Shotwell. Just ballpark, if you had to say, give an approximate time when your capsule would be crew rated, how far away do you think you are in terms of months, years?
We think we'll be flying crew in about 3 years, or we'll be ready to fly crew. Let's be careful. Ready to fly crew in about 3 years. And by the way, I didn't answer your question because of the ice cream. 7. Dragon was designed for 7 crew members.
Thank you. All right. Thank you all very much for coming. We're going to call this an evening and let everybody get out and get some rest. NASA television coverage of the SpaceX Commercial Resupply Services 1 mission begins at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Liftoff is 8:35 p.m. And in between now and then, you can keep up with the status of the flight at www.nasa.gov/station. Thank you once again.